Okay, this video is to show a lap around Miami Homestead in the Xfinity series and show the setup that I used to do it. And I'll also kind of critique the lap and talk about some of the things I'm trying to do in the lap to get the time. First, I'm going to let the lap roll through, then I'll rewind it and kind of hit some of the nuances of it. The thing I want to say is this is a setup that's super easy to drive. A lot of the setups you see when you're supposed to really fast lap, it's almost like you have to be an elite racer to manage to drive that setup. And that it seems like it burns the tires off really quick. This is a setup, whether you're a fairly new racer up to a pretty competitive racer, you crank out a pretty decent lap time with this setup. My best is a 31.9, as you can see up here in the left corner. I think this is a lap in the 32.2 range. But you kind of roll out of the throttle, as you saw there, really hug the bottom here. That helps you maintain a lot of speed, save a lot of time by staying near that white line as you exit. And kind of the same concept. It seems like the entry 3 is a lot wider than the entry 1. That's probably just the pit roads there. And coming here to the flag stand, there was a 32.2. So that was the lap. Let me go into some more details about it. Coming in here, you can't be as aggressive, it seems like, in this as you do in the trucks. But you're going to notice I am lifting fairly early. So it's almost like if you listen, you've got these orange markers up here. About the last one of them is where I am lifting. Then what you want to do is it's almost like I'm taking the approach of you start off high and you dive down to that white line. You'll notice here we are halfway through the turn and I'm not quite down to the bottom, but it's like you're diving down. You're starting at the top and you get progressively closer to that white line as you come to the exit of the turn. The other thing you want to do is when you are out of the throttle is when you really want to turn the wheel or the controller to get the car to turn. You want it to get turned before you pick the throttle back up. So let's run through this again real quick. Now see, there's not really a marker here to look at, but you're probably a little less than halfway through the turn or maybe at the halfway point when you pick up the throttle. When you pick up the throttle, you should be able to just mash the gas and go. You shouldn't need to really ease your way into it. And again, you try to stay down there close to that white line. The closer you can stay to the white line, the more speed you're going to have and the less time you're going to lose. Same thing here. The mark that I am looking at here is it seems like this black mark right here, right about there is where I am letting off of the throttle. And when I say letting off, you're really just kind of easing off of it. It's not like you suddenly just jerk your hand or foot off the accelerator. You're just kind of rolling out of it. And again, you start off a little high, let the car settle down. You're starting off high and diving down into the corner. And we're going to get lower and lower in the corner as we go through. As soon as the car settles, mash the gas and you are down here at this white line and you're just going to stay there as long as you can. Keep the throttle wide open. Let the car drift out to the wall. Again, I'm sure there are guys out there who can run faster laps than this. There are setups out there that they will claim will get you a faster lap, and for them it will. This is designed as a good setup for somebody who's from a new racer to a pretty competitive one. It's easy to drive. You don't have to be able to manage a loose car. It's a setup that's going to keep rubber on the tires all the way through the fuel run. So it's a setup, as I call, for the 99% of us that aren't elite racers. But with that being said, let's get to what the setup is. Miami Homestead is a unique track. Everything from, it seems like the banking is different to the way it is rectangled in shape to, it seems to me that turns 1 and 3 are different, even though they may look the same on a map. It feels like 1 is a much narrower turn. Here is the setup. A lot of things that you'll see here that are very different than other setups. Your bump and rebound settings on the shocks can do a lot to adjust for problems you're having in a specific part of a corner. So if you're tight middle, if you're loose off, these are the settings you can adjust to correct those situations versus settings on, say, the shocks or the tire pressure that's just going to be, it's going to correct a tight situation everywhere or a loose situation everywhere. But you'll see that I've got those set very different than a lot of people do. The front weight, I also run a lot lower than a lot of people do for a couple of reasons. One is it seems like lower front weight helps the car turn a little bit better. The other thing that it does is, it seems like when you've got a front weight here of 51, 52%, where a lot of people run it, it seems like with that much weight on the front of the car, it's very hard to change the handling characteristics with air pressure. So if I'm running a lighter front weight here, it seems like I can make a small change of a quarter pound or a half pound in air pressures, and that will impact the way the car drives. And this is just my personal opinion. I don't know if this is backed up by facts or not, but the heavier front weight, it seems like you've got to make a bigger adjustment in the tire pressure or the spring rate to get the car's handling characteristics to change. The wedge is at 49.0. That may be a little hard to see on the screen there, but that's low for me. I usually don't run wedge that low, but at my Homestead, it seems like you burn off the front tire really easy. So I am lowering the wedge there to try to keep the front tire from burning off. Other things, I'm running a pretty stiff front sway bar there. The other things that are a little bit unique to this is this track bar. I usually don't have my track bar that high, nor do I normally have a gap between the left and right track bars that are that high. So having that stuff there is another thing that's a very unique thing to Homestead Miami. And finally, it just seems like the cars are very sluggish coming off the corners. When you want to pick up the throttle, the car seems sluggish. So it seems like you got to run a lot of gear in there, or a very, very low gear to try to get it to drive off the corner. So I'm running a 3.5, which is a way lower gear than what I run at most mile-and-a-half tracks. So that's my setup at Miami. Big thing is I think you can run pretty decent lap times with it, and it's super easy to handle. So hope it helps you. Hope you like it. Please do me a big favor, and if this was at all useful to you, like the video, subscribe to my channel. If there are questions you have or any specific videos you want to see on setups or laps at any track, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to throw up a video for you, and thank you for watching.